All right. All right. So glad to see everybody here. Just want to kind of go over a couple of things. So the first thing that I want us to kind of recognize and talk about is this notion that we need to put equity, inclusion, and diversity into practice, right? So this should be something that we are doing, not something that we're talking about, right? So so I want to kind of start there. The next thing that I think is important, and we'll kind of walk through a couple of these things, is recognizing, do we have structured processes that help us to eliminate unconscious bias and even microaggressions, right? And so having a structured interview process is extremely important. And I'm not just talking about when folks are sitting in the chair across from you, but a process of looking at our unconscious bias ahead of time, talking about what right fit is ahead of time, recognizing that the whole process of the panel versus an individual should be a structured process, so that we make sure that we're being as consistent as possible, which will give folks an even and fair opportunity for access to goods, jobs, services, and money, right? So that's what we really want to drive. And when we talk about that, we also want to recognize that it's important to hold leaders and managers and supervisors accountable for the decisions that they make, right? And so as they help us achieve our diversity goals, our equity goals, our inclusion goals, that we monitor that we give rewards to that, and that when we see that those things aren't happening, that we actually start to develop behaviors and provide skills to help people to do that. And so when we hold leaders accountable, it allows us to move forward, and people can be proud of their advances in equity, inclusion, and diversity efforts. So that's very important. And then next, we want to talk a little bit about the transparency of processes. So as people are moving up in the organization, as people are seeking new opportunities, are those processes transparent? So do I know what I need to do as an employee if I want to move to the next level? Or if I take these training opportunities, will that add to my credibility within the organization and lead to advancement? And then what opportunities in the organization can actually lead me to advancement? In large organizations, there are often lots of opportunities to do things, but sometimes we're not sure if those things actually lead us to a progressive or opportunity in our organization. And so those become important things to recognize. And lastly, we want to talk about this notion of motivation. When we think about equity, inclusion, and diversity efforts, is this something that we have to do because there is some force out there making us do it? Or is this something that as a leader, as a supervisor, as a manager, I see as important, both to the organization, but also in the work that I do on a daily basis? And so what is your motivation for putting these practices in place? And so once we talk about those things, then we're able to actually see our equity, inclusion, and diversity efforts in practice. And so in the rest of this activity, you'll see some opportunities to kind of do some self-assessment, do some organizational assessment, and also look at what the greater context is for these diversity opportunities that are before us. And so as we start to place equity, inclusion, and diversity in the forefront of what we do, these are some of the ways that you will be able to put those practices into action. So my name is Andre Koen. I want to say thank you so much for spending your time here. Feel free to go through the rest of the resources below, and we look forward to seeing who you become as we continue this conversation. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.